Can you guys let me know in the chat how clear the stream is? If I need to adjust the settings a little bit, or what? Because I can play with the stream quality settings a little bit. I'm trying to kind of get it to where they're pretty consistently decent. Just let me know if it's clear or if it's blurry or what. Looks good.
Pretty clear to me.
Okay, cool. I've been playing with the settings a little bit, trying to adjust it. I think the reason sometimes it gets so blurry is because I'm doing so much at one time on my end. I mean, I have two computers that are both streaming at the same time in order for me to be able to upload this to YouTube. Plus, I have all my charts running, plus my trading setup. I don't know. I just feel like it's probably just a big draw on the internet. So we're going to be patient here and wait and kind of see what price gives us. Personally, I'd like to see this break down to the downside and maybe make a run at the overnight low and then possibly start dumping from there. We're still good though to go long. It's hard to get an idea where we're going to go with these massive wicks on the 1 hour chart. If anybody wants to take a peek at the 1 hour chart, we have like 5 massive buying wicks on the 1 hour chart. So it makes it kind of hard to know definitively where we're going. It makes me wonder if we're going to just drop to actually go down and fill lower to reach the bottoms of some of these buying wicks, because these buying wicks are just insane to me. So we're going to see what happens here. Like I said, personally, I would like to see price sell off and start to make a run for lows. But we're going to see. We are down on the day so far. We're kind of just in an area of uncertainty, in my opinion, so we're going to be patient here and wait to see where this wants to go. But I would like to see this drop personally.
There it is.
Damn. That's a drop if I ever saw one.
Taylor, I got a quick question about this copy trading software. As long as my leader is selected and as long as I have the correct instrument in the drop down box, I've already selected all the other copy accounts. Am I good to go as long as I use that leader account, or is there something else I need to do?
No, the biggest thing is just making sure you have the leader account selected. Send me a screenshot of it real quick, either in the chat or directly to me. If you don't, I'd probably recommend just send it to me, just so you're not sharing all your account information. I know you probably don't care, but I do. So just send it to me in the chat, me and you.
Yeah, I'll probably just text it to you because it's easier. I have so many things open right now.
Oh, well, that's good. Text it to me. Well, I guess I was right about the drop, you guys. We're about to make the reach for low. We're literally about to reach the low from yesterday in 5 minutes. I don't even know what's happening right now. This is crazy. We're like not far at all now from reaching the lows. I'm going to drop a line real quick where the low is, and we just reached it. Holy crap. Okay, never mind. I'm going to stop talking. We reached it. This is kind of crazy right now. So I'm personally done for the day. I was in a small short position, and it just yielded $800 per account. So I'm going to keep trading with you guys, but I don't even know. Did we have news? I didn't even check. I'm literally just sitting down on my computer. Wow, yeah, we had a unemployment cost index at 7:30. Jesus Christ. And we have consumer confidence at 9. Okay, well, that was unexpected. Holy crap, that played out. Okay, we're definitely going to come back and talk about that. Not right now, but moving forward, we're going to come back and talk about what the hell just happened. Because I definitely want to shine some light on why I was saying that I felt good about this thing dropping. And I know everybody doesn't have the hourly chart in front of them, so I'm not going to worry about trying to do that right now. We're going to do that at a later time. So yeah, you want to right click. If you want my opinion, Garrett, you want to right click inside of the big list of accounts, and then you're going to see the option that says no. You see the one that says desync on?
Yes.
Does it have a check or an X next to it?
It's checked.
Okay, you want to uncheck that, and that's just, in my opinion, I would do that. But if you do that, there is something you're going to have to do to actively manage your position in real time. So what the sync does is, let's say you get out of a trade on your leader account, okay? And for whatever reason, in the time it takes it to close that position, one of your follower accounts, price moves above let's say your stop loss. So it gives you an error message of like you cannot place. You know how if you try to place your stop loss above price, it gives you an error message?
Yeah.
And it won't let you do that? Okay, well that can happen sometimes in between when you close an order and when the follower accounts submit the same order. And if it does that, those accounts are not going to close. So if you I'm going to leave it up to you, honestly. If you leave desync on, if you leave it checked, then it will notice after a second or two. I don't remember what the delay is. It's like 2 seconds maybe. It'll actually notice that it didn't close the position when the other ones did, and then it will catch up after the fact. So it'll automatically go back and close them so that they're not lagging behind. It's like a fail-safe. You can turn it on or turn it off. I have mine turned off only because I actively manage my position in real time under the positions tab on my trader dashboard. But you can definitely leave desync on, and it's basically a safety net for you to make sure that all your accounts close out like they're supposed to.
Yeah, I think I'm going to leave it checked for now.
Yeah, and you might notice later, like I had it checked when I first got it, and it's just it was not causing an issue, but I'm not used to managing mine like that, so I had turned it off later. So now listen, I know we had this conversation. I'm gonna stress it to you again. One day at a time. I know you know, but one day at a time.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in pretty.
You don't want to. Yeah, I know you don't want to lose, 20 accounts. So, all right. So we did sweep the lows. We just swept the lows of yesterday's massive drop that we had. I don't even know, honestly. I wasn't expecting that whenever I told you guys that we were going to make a run to the lows. That was not what I had expected, but whatever. I'm not upset about it. Give me a second. Let me check the higher time frames here. As of right now, I don't see anything like concrete. The only thing that I am noticing is obviously we have this massive sell-off right here. So we can wait to see if we get a response at the 50 level or the 618 in this golden zone, and we can look to potentially get something to go short. We're gonna be patient here. We're definitely not getting in a hurry, guys. We do have news. I'm seeing we have red folder news at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock Eastern, which is going to be consumer confidence, which is probably going to get some good movement out of the market as well. So we are going to be patient here. We're going to wait to see how price reacts if it does reach up and get into this golden zone here. This might be a sweep. We might push right through this golden zone and push higher. And price might have just dug for new lows to go for new highs today. So we're not going to blindly get in on the 50 here. We're going to wait for either a break back down and then a retest and continuation lower, or we're going to wait to see if this blows right through this level and starts running higher, to see if we need to if we need to look for longs instead. So we're just going to be patient right now. So real quick, that is looking like a potential. Let's see. You see, we didn't quite touch the 50 on this. But if I come down to the bottom, I'm sorry, we didn't quite touch the 50 right there. So I'm kind of on the fence right now. This is actually looking really good for some long scalps. If anybody does do scalping, I'd be interested in some long scalps up to this area. And then if we get any breakdown from here, continuing to ride it up, because this thing might actually run all the way back up to this break of structure level. So give me 1 second, you guys. 1 second. I gotta take this call. All right. I'm sorry, guys. I had to take that call. So we did finally reach down into the golden zone on this 1 minute. We did not sweep liquidity, so this is looking like it could potentially start to run to the upside if we can get some follow through right here. We do need to break the liquidity resting above these 1 minute highs, and then I'd like to see an expansion up to this area, and then probably going to see this go higher from there. We're going to see though. We have to obviously get the follow through first before we can talk about anything else. This is kind of looking like it may not make it there, but we are going to see. We're sitting at a support level. I know you guys don't have that probably. Maybe one or two of you do, but on NinjaTrader, we are sitting at support number 1 for NQ on the daily. As far as the pivots are concerned, we're actually sitting right underneath it, so I'd like to see price get back above it and then start to make a run for, first off, like I said, the liquidity resting above this 1 minute high, and then ultimately making a push up here. But we're going to see if price can get up there. It's definitely having some trouble. It's stalling out right here. So I'd like to see price explode though and make a move to the upside. It just will not break. We might actually be, it's kind of early to tell, but we may be forming a bear pennant here. Very sloppy bear pennant, but if we are forming a bear pennant and we fail to break to the upside, this could be an indication of another sell-off to go lower down. Which, if I'm being honest with you, really wouldn't surprise me to see a continuation to the downside. Now that we've swept those lows, we had that massive sell-off yesterday right before market close, and then or an hour before market close, and then we had 2 hours maybe before market close. I don't remember when it was, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, something like that. And then price pumped all the way back up and cleared liquidity on the top side. So we're definitely in line for a continuation lower if that's where we need to go. So I'd be waiting to see how price responds in this bear. If we do get a play out of the bear pennant, then I would expect price to sell off and ultimately go lower. But we're going to see. Pattern formations are not something we put a whole ton of trust in. At least I don't personally. I like to look at them how they align with everything else we're looking at. So like I'm always talking about, we want confluence across multiple different things. So technically we're starting to get some confluence here. We are already red on the day. We already hit liquidity to the downside. We are in a bearish fair value gap. Price is failing to as of right now, it's failing to make new highs. And we're in a bear pennant. So it's possible that this is going to have a continuation lower if we break down out of this. But we're going to see, because we are respecting this 1 minute fair value gap. I don't know, you guys probably can't see it, but it's a very small little sliver of a fair value gap on the 1 minute. So we are respecting that right now. Just waiting to see if price is going to break down. We're currently tapping against the bottom of that support. We're going to see if we're going to get a break to the upside or if we're going to get a breakdown. And like I said, if we do get a breakdown, then this is going to be good for, I would think, the way we typically measure these is you measure from the formation at the top, the formation at the bottom, 39. So if this does break out, let's say it breaks out right here, you can expect a 39-point push potentially. So we'd be looking at price reaching down to 17,760, which honestly wouldn't be much of a surprise, because that would put us in alignment with the fair value gap on the 5-minute, the 15-minute, and the hourly. So where do we say 39? So yeah, that would actually not be too much of a stretch, honestly, for price to get down there. That would put us in alignment with reaching down to something solid that we could potentially bounce on. So I'm going to be leaning a little bit bearish right now, unless if we break out to the top, I'm going to abandon that sentiment. But as of right now, I'm going to be anticipating us potentially breaking down out of here and making a new low, selling off again and making a new low. But we're going to see what happens. We're just going to be patient. We don't have anything definitive yet to trade off of. Just waiting. See if we're going to break down out of here. But like I said, if we do, let's just say we broke out somewhere right here, we could realistically expect this to make a run of somewhere between here and here. This is what I would expect. This is the total range I would expect this to potentially sell off. They're about 39-ish points. So we're going to see. We're just being patient right now. It's definitely not wanting to come down as of right now. So that means one of two things. Either we're gaining up momentum to pop to the upside and make a clean run up to that fair value that golden zone above us, or we're building up to have a massive sell-off that's going to break down on what I have drawn right here. This area. Just waiting. Yeah, you're right. I'd even buy one. Let's see if we can get some movement out of this. If this breaks down, I would like to think we're going to get some pretty good movement. Like I said, I'm not expecting more than 39 points. That's kind of realistically the most I would expect if we break out of this formation to the downside. But that's not like a universal certain, like that doesn't have to happen. There's not a certainty. That's just based off of the range of this pennant. That's kind of what we can expect to see if we do break the downside, is somewhere in the realm of 30 to 40 points. So it looks like it's trying to sell off here, but it needs to actually break down and hold below. This 1 minute fair value gap is just absolutely not letting price go down. This is kind of wild to me. Price has just tested this fair value gap 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times now, and it has not let a single candle body close below it. That's pretty wild to me. Pretty wild to me. I can't tell if it's trying to break or if it's just testing the top here. We are just stuck right here in between this little support level and this 1 minute fair value gap. We cannot break out of this area. This is wild. Oh, there we go. There's the breakout. Notice how price came back down and perfectly tapped the golden zone one more time. It's kind of crazy. Well, we're definitely looking good now for our golden zone. I'd like to see price get a reaction up in here. Okay, we just hit it. So I'd like to see a little bit of a pullback. Possibly a run for lows. If we don't see a retracement and support, I'd like to see a potential run for lows at that point. We have tapped the 50 level on our golden zone here. So we're going to see how price responds from this point. Personally, I'd like to see it get respected, and I'd like price to now push down and make an attempt for new lows. That's what I would personally like to see. But we're going to be patient like always. Golly. We're disrespecting it. Let's see what we can get out of here. Price is still climbing. Even if we are going to ultimately go through this gap, I'd still like to see it give us a retracement down into this area in between 826 and 822. I'd like to see price come down to this area and then give us some support, and then we can look to potentially go higher if it doesn't look like this level is going to keep us down. All right, we're going to see how if price makes it down into this area, we're going to see what kind of response we get here. I'd like to see price. Actually, if I'm being honest with you guys, I'd like to see price push right through this area and start making a run down here for these lows. But we're going to see. I think at this point we have a pretty good chance of price going for new low a day and then ultimately reaching down even lower. I'm going to see what happens here, though. If we can make a new low a day, then we're going to look to take a short whenever price retraces on that price action. We're going to see. So first thing I want to see is it just completely obliterate this level to the downside and make a run for the liquidity resting down here and possibly make an attempt at this trend line. I'd like to see it come and break this trend line. Oh, I cannot stand when we stall out like this, though. So it does look like we're invalidating this golden zone. Not 100% sure yet because we know that it did the same thing right here and it ultimately supported it and pushed up to here. But I'm feeling good about price making a new low here and breaking this trend line. So that's what we're aiming for right now. I'm aiming for a breakdown, and I want price to ultimately go and make a new low here to tell us that we are staying in line with the price action that has played out so far. Looks like price is trying to get support here, but I feel good about a sell-off. I feel good about us coming down and trying to break this trend line. We're going to see, though. We also have to look at what's happening so far, which we did get support here, but it didn't respect like we like. It pushed way lower, came up. It perfectly responded to this one, though, which is telling me that we may be leaning more bearish than bullish. So I'd like to see price push down now off of this level if we get up to it. With perfect, I mean, I want it, if it comes up to here, I want it to respect that level perfectly. Unless we're about to make an attempt right now to break down. Let's see. Are we about to make an attempt at that trend line? Let's see if we can break down out of here. We are back below the golden zone here, and it's a little too early to tell, but it looks like price may be trying to break down from the 618. Let's see. If we do break down from the 618 and we make an attempt at this trend line, then like I said, personally, I feel good about us breaking the trend line and ultimately making a run for new lows. We do have another 29 minutes or 27 minutes, 28 minutes until market open. So we have plenty of time if price does want to make a run on liquidity before market open. Okay, we're breaking down. I'd like to see us break that trend line. I want to see us go down and break that trend line. Love to see us break down. We're definitely trying. See if we can make an attempt at it. Well, we are still stuck right here. I personally cannot stand when we get stuck in consolidation like this. This is just exhausting. We're back above this golden zone here. Might be a liquidity sweep. We're going to see. Looking like a potential liquidity sweep here. No. We just finally tapped the bearish golden zone from this bearish leg of price action. See if we're going to get a continuation lower, if price is going to hold to try to push. I'd personally like to see a sell-off from here. Bring us back down and break this trend line. Because we already have 3 perfect taps of this trend line. Just being patient to see how it's going to respond to this. Like I said, personally, I'd like to see a sell-off here, but we're just being patient. We still don't have a definitive direction. Now this is actually kind of looking like a bear flag. It's not a very clean bear flag, but it is starting to look like a bear flag, which is a bearish formation, and could ultimately lead in a breakdown to the downside, obviously. So we're just going to be patient here. Like I said, we don't have anything definitive yet. See what we're going to do here. If we can break this trend line on the bottom, this would be a potential play out of the bear flag, which, just to get an idea of where we could potentially go, you measure from here to here, 35 points. So the same thing we said earlier. So if we break out of here, let's say here, we could realistically expect price to reach here, or the lows of this liquidity, which is kind of what we were looking for earlier. So we're just going to wait to see how this plays out. I'm still personally leaning bearish. We are respecting the bearish levels that are being created. So I'd like to see this break down at this point and make a run for these lows down here around the 17,790 area. But pullbacks like that immediately after dropping do not definitely do not align with what we're looking at. So I'm not sure why we're getting this massive pullback right here. Now it's looking like a liquidity grab, and we might just be going higher. Come on. We tap the 618. We've now tapped the 618 and completely filled that bearish fair value gap, which anybody that uses ICT concepts, that looks like an inverted fair value gap. Somebody would have to correct me because I might be looking at that wrong, but I'm not super familiar with all of his concepts. I can't sit there and listen to his videos every single day. Still leaning bearish personally. I'd like to see a breakout of this flag right here to the downside, but we are technically making higher highs. I'm sorry, we are technically making higher lows right now, and it's undetermined yet if we're going to make a higher high here on the 1 minute. Price hasn't actually started to break down yet. So as of right now, the overall picture of the market, we are making higher highs and higher lows, so we would need price to fail to go higher here and drop. Price is just steady working its way up through this. It's not looking good for a sell-off. Our last line of defense is going to be how price is going to respond when it gets back in this area. Hopefully that was a quick liquidity grab for the sell-off. Let's see what happens here now that we ran up and touched that area again. If we're going to get a drop, or if price is just going to power through it. We're steadily climbing. Just waiting here. We definitely don't have anything definitive yet. Price is literally just chopping back and forth in this range right now. I'd really like to see a sell-off from this point. Like I said, this is going to be our last line of defense is this golden zone right here, this bearish golden zone. Price would need to respect it and drop for us to stay in line with a possible short. Man, we just are not doing anything right now. Just waiting. Market does open in about 11 minutes. Um, we have absolutely no definitive position as of right now. We're literally just sitting here waiting. No clue where we are going yet. I'll say it again. I do want to see a sell-off and a breakdown out of this trend line, but just sitting here, sitting on our hands at the moment. We're not trying to get into anything. I'm going to say this, if we do get a breakdown out of this trend line, this lower trend line right here, I'm going to probably, personally, I'm going to take a short. My target is going to be the lows down here at the liquidity, sitting down here at these lows we made earlier. Now, like I said, I'm not going to alert it. That's something I'm going to take myself. But I am letting you guys know that if we get a breakout to the downside right here, I will be shorting, with this being my profit target, and then hopefully lower. So, but that's assuming we can even break down. As of now, we are still just stopping in this same area. See if we can get the trend line break here. Let's see. Let's see. If we can get a trend line break, like I said, I think we'll be good for the lows that we made earlier. I think I'm going to take, personally, I'm not going to do a formal alert here, but I am going to take a personal stab at this short in case we do get a trend line break. The stop loss is going to be up here at our 618 level. We're going to just see how this plays out. Like I said, not a formal alert, but I'd like to see this breakdown. We're going to see if we can get a breakdown out of here. I do like that we left that fair value gap, but it would have to respect it and come lower off of it. So, which it looks like it's just going to try to make a run for new highs now. So, Yeah, we're not getting that resistance that I was expecting right here at all. We're just pushing higher. That's awesome. Oh, I really wanted to see a clean breakdown from there. We do have about 6.5 minutes until market open, guys. Just be aware. We are still technically valid for a short off of this golden zone until price closes above it. So this does have the potential to break down if that's ultimately what it wants to do. We need to get, in my opinion, we're going to have to break this trend line before any massive selling is going to take place. Because until we break that, other retail traders like us are not going to see it as a valid short until we break that trend line. So we are still holding down on this gap, but we need to actually flush. Oh, we made an attempt at it. Let's see if we can break it. Definitely not what I want to see. I want to see it break down. We have about 4.5 minutes until open. No, we are not getting the breakdown that I wanted. Come on. Back up in the golden zone yet again. I still think this is a possible short here. Maybe we were just grabbing liquidity above those recent highs. Not looking good though. We keep pulling back up. We're not breaking down. We have 3 minutes and some change until market open. I'm going to cut this before market open if we don't get a breakdown. Right now, we're just steadily climbing higher. We're not breaking down and creating any new lower lows here, which is looking really, really bad for this to break down. We have not created a single new lower low in the last, I don't know what this is, hour. A little over an hour now, we have not created a single new lower low. Oh, here we go. We're going to go for the breakout now. We have 2 minutes and some change till market open here, guys. Okay, we're about to get a breakout now. Okay, just as a reminder, if we do break out, my target is going to be the lows down here that we created earlier That's assuming we do. We still have not broken that trend line. Price keeps making an attempt to, but it just can't break it. We have a minute and 10 seconds to open. Minute and 10 seconds until open. This is really not looking great now. I don't know what's preventing us from breaking down. "40 seconds until open." I don't know if anybody else is in this trade. I did say that I wasn't formally alerting it. I'm going to let it play out here. Just in case it does want to break down, I'm going to give it a little bit more breathing room. And I'm going to let this play out to see if we get a breakdown at market open. Full transparency. This can definitely pop to the upside, so this is a little risky for sure, but I'm going to give it a chance here. Because if it does break down, it's going to be a nice, very clean breakdown in my opinion. 10 seconds until market open. Five seconds. Oh, it definitely tried there. Trying again. Looking like it might not be able to do it. Oh, not what I wanted to see. Give it a little bit more, all the way up to my normal 30 point that I normally like to give. Golly, why is this giving me trouble here? I can't get it on 30 for some reason. Well, here's our sell-off. If it wants to hold, it's definitely trying here. Not surprised at all to see us still just stuck in the same range. It's exhausting, this price action. I cannot stand when we do this. Just need to break the trend line. If we can break and trade below it, we should see a nice sell-off down to new lows. Okay, we did get a close below it, which is what we needed. Now we just need to get the follow through. Follow through and the flush. Ooh, that is definitely not follow through and flush. Oh, this is exhausting. Exhausting. We've been here for an hour. Just give us a direction. This is prime for a sell-off. Just sell off. Come on. It needs to break the lows here, and then we should see a dump down to new lows. We just need to get some follow through. I mean, come on. See, this is what tears me up. I'm not a patient person naturally, and this is the most exhausting type of price action we could possibly have. We have been sitting in this same range for almost an hour now, or over an hour. I don't even know. Almost an hour, something like that. Oh, looks like we're not going to get it. Not what I was hoping for. Really thought we were good for a breakdown there, but apparently not. We just hit view up. Don't think that's going to stop us, though. We are about to get stopped out on this. Is this thing going to finally make an attempt at breaking down here? What are we doing? Unless we catch support inside of here for a move to the upside. Let's see where it would align in here. We did just tap the 50, so it definitely has what it needs to go higher. But I'd really like to see this thing break down for new lows, personally. That's what I would love to see. We are holding as of right now, bullishly. I'd like to see this break down. No. It's going to make a run for new highs now. Damn. Oh, are we going to do it now? I mean, what is going on with this price action this morning? This is terrible price action. This is ridiculous. We're still sitting in the same original range. Might be time to close up and go outside for a few minutes. You're not wrong about that, Canty. This is exhausting. Absolutely exhausting right here. I've been saying this all morning. I've been personally anticipating a potential breakdown here. Maybe this is finally going to be it. we can break these lows, I think we're good for new low of day. But that's assuming we break them. We're probably going to bounce and go to Mars from here with my luck. Come on. Let's do it. Every time I get a good sell off, I always think about that line from that movie. I can't even remember what movie it was, where he's yelling at them, "You boys like Mexico?" And they're just scared shitless in the back seat of that truck. Come on, give us a breakdown. I don't even know what we're doing at this point. This is exhausting. Of course you're going to go right back up. Why would you do anything other than that? This is looking like it aligns with our original trend line right here. I'm just going to get rid of this one. There's no point at this point. Oh, come on. This price action makes absolutely no sense to me. I don't know what we could have possibly just hit on the downside that we're going all the way back up now. We are not in alignment with anything at the moment. I don't know how we dip all the way below a trend line and then pull all the way back up and then dip all the way back below a trend line and then pull all the way back up. This is just disgusting, disgusting price action. There's no logic in this at all. Yeah, it might be Super Troopers. Is it Super Troopers? I don't remember what movie it was, but I remember the quote. I can see the guy in my head. Dude, this is terrible. What are we doing? Yeah, there you go. That's it. Oh, this is exhausting. Where are we going? Golly. Where's this volatility coming from? Jesus Christ. At this point, it looks like it's going to make an attempt for the top of this, which would align with this gap. Mother, I don't even know what we're doing here. We do have news in 16 minutes, 16 and a half minutes. We have consumer confidence. As of right now, we're just kind of waiting. I mean, it's easy to say in hindsight that we should have stayed in that long down there, but I'm gonna be honest with you, I wasn't expecting this type of a sell-off, and then price not to respect the retracement level and push lower. Whoa, where is this volatility coming from? This is crazy. This is insane to me. And it's just blowing through the top like nothing ever happened. How do we just have a 75-point drop and then a 75-point correction 2 days in a row? You're gonna have to let us in on what you're doing on gold, can't you? You've been banking daily on gold. I'm not gonna lie, you got me wanting to make a switch with the way you've been banking on gold the last week or two. No, I don't believe that. Being too modest. Luck runs out, and your luck is not running out apparently. So we did tap this untouched 1 minute gap up here, which is a break of structure gap. We swept liquidity from the leg down, which is now fulfilled the change of character right here. So hopefully at this point, oh, and we touched the top of our bear flag, our massive, massive bear flag channel. So hopefully this is going to be the start of a continuation lower. Let's see. I'd like to see a nice clean leg of bearish price action, and then I'd want to see us make an attempt to retest it and then fail to go higher and ultimately start dropping to make a new low. We're just waiting to see if this is going to break down. Break down, break it down, break it down. I want it to just keep breaking down. Keep on breaking down. Keep on, keeping on, keeping on, coming down. Let's take a look at this leg of price action right here, this cataclysmic bounce. All right, we are looking good. We just needed to invalidate this golden zone here and make a move lower. That's what I want to see. I wanted to invalidate this completely. Just completely flush through it. Flush it. Do not bounce here. No, 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 no. Do not bounce here. Come lower. If this thing can continue lower, we should see a good run. If we can get a run at that trend line, we should see a massive breakdown. But this thing needs to drop. I want to see it start knifing relatively quickly to give me confirmation that we're gonna go down for an attempt at that trend line. We know that the market does like to ultimately break smooth lines like trend lines. We know that it likes to do that. It doesn't like leaving lines completely untouched or untraded through. So these are our two lines that we have of interest. So we need price to first off break. Hello?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, god damn, dude. This whole time y'all couldn't hear me.
Oh, no. Like, this is the first time I heard you say anything.
No, my shit been acting up. I've been trying to figure it out.
Oh. Well, now I hear you. So I'd really like to see price hold this level and give us a continuation shorter. So on MNQ, we do have a fair value gap we just touched. There's no gap on NQ. Really like to see a continuation lower from here and ultimately make an attempt to break that trend line. We did push all the way through the golden zone retracement, so that is a good bearish sign for me. It gives me a little bit of confidence that we might come lower. And then ultimately, like I said, I want us to hold down from this level and make an attempt to break this trend line and make a run for new lows. That would be glorious. Let's see if we can break down. Go. I want you to go make an attempt to break down.
I was down 2K earlier.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
What are you doing?
Like, I don't know. I'm up
okay.
200 right now. So.
Okay. Well, to me, that would be enough for the day. To go from down 2K to up 200, I'd be calling it personally.
Dude, it's crazy. Like,
but
so I initially thought this was gonna go higher when it went low like that, and it dipped like really hard at that news. I was like, okay, this is gonna go higher. So I got in long positions, and it kept going lower. And I was like, fuck. So I got out, and then when it looked like it wanted to go short, I went short, and then it just wouldn't work. I was like, bro, you got to be kidding me.
Manipulation.
Yeah.
I'm really feeling good about a trend line break still. I'm still not letting go of that bias.
Yeah.
I'd love to see a nice clean knife. I want it to knife the shit out of it and just make a run. But it just will not stay below either of these lines. Price does not want to be down here. Come on.
Come see, look, girl. What the hell she crying for?
Oh my God, you gotta be kidding me. Dude, this price action is ridiculous this morning. We are just range bound. Every time we get into an area, we get range bound, range bound, range bound. Just give us a definitive direction. Okay, now are we going to do it? Or is this just another liquidity grab, which you've already done 1,000 times this morning? Oh, wow, this is exhausting. I've never seen price hit a trend line so many times without going through it. At least making an attempt to go through it. It's not even definitively trying to break down out of it. We get one candle that breaks down, the next candle brings it right back. We've never even stayed below for a full minute. This 5-minute chart is ridiculous. Just break. I do not know what is holding us this well. And we're going to probably push higher now. Just give us a breakdown. What is the hold up? We already respected at the top. Come on. Oh, wow. Here we go. Push for more highs. Finally tapped the 50 on this retracement. See if we can get pushed down. This thing just keeps digging higher into more liquidity. And then we get these breakdown attempts and price cannot hold. So I don't understand why we keep breaking down if buyers are in that much control. What's the point of these sell-offs if we're just going to buy it right back up? Come on. I cannot make any sense of this at all. I don't know how we're doing this without Now we're gonna act like we're gonna break down again just to get bought back up, or are we gonna actually sell off? What's gonna happen here? Oh, bought it right back up. No surprise there. No surprise at all there. Now this is looking like it's just going to explode to the top. I don't know. I don't know where we're going. This is ridiculous. Every single time we try to break the trend line, it just pushes higher. So I genuinely have no idea where price is trying to get right now. Not sure what's keeping us from selling off. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised to see new highs get hit. And then from there, I'm not even 100% sure where we're going to be going. I mean, our next bullish area of interest would be like way up at a little over 18,000. I mean, unless the market's going to make a run for that. But that's over 120 points away to the upside. Just watching. And of course, there we go. Breakout to the top. Price is pushing now. We did just sweep liquidity again, which we already did. And it looks like we probably tapped the trend line again, which we already did. I'm honestly not sure where we're heading here. I hope you don't mind me posting this, but looking at gold, I'm not a great trader. Visible is treating me well. I opened eval today just before open. Look at the time at the bottom, just over 30 minutes of trading, GC. Yeah, Canty. I'd really like to get in and see what you're doing on gold. I think it's awesome, dude. Because I don't. You can say it all you want. I don't see it as luck. I mean, you're being consistent with that for the last couple of weeks now. That's awesome. Let's see if we can get the trend line break here. We've only been waiting all morning for it. Let's see if that's what we need to break down. Okay, we need a hole below it now. No, of course we're not going to, though. This is ridiculous. Oh my gosh. I still think we're good for new low a day if price could ever break out of either one of these lines and actually stay below it for more than a minute. But for whatever reason, it just does not want to go below it at all. This is wild. Oh, just waiting here. I'm still not letting go of this idea that I think we have a good chance of making a run for new lows. It just has not come to fruition yet. The price refuses to break. Absolutely refuses to break down. And now we're going to go make a run at new highs again? Yep, looks like it. Just sitting here staring at the chart. Can't tell if we're just continuously sweeping liquidity on the top side to try to break down, or if we're testing that trend line and just continuously trying to break higher. I really don't know at this point. We've now swept both major sides of liquidity for today, so I'm completely lost for which direction we're ultimately heading. I'd personally love to see us sell off and go for new lows, but I'm really not sure as of right now. I would really love to see us break down, though, and make a run for lows. We're going to make another feeble attempt. Let's see what happens here. This is just ridiculous to me. I don't know what's keeping us from breaking down. We've swept the major liquidity. I mean, there's ultimately more liquidity resting above us, but from the initial drop, we swept all of the liquidity resting up on that initial drop. I would like to think. We already made 2 runs up into that area. So I'd personally just love to see this come down and break to the downside. I think if it could break, we would see a very, very big sell-off. But we're here at the trend line again. This one really doesn't have much strength to it anymore, but it's still the one that price will not hold below. The one lower down right here is the one that we have perfectly respected 3 times, or 4 times, 1, 2, 3, 4 times perfectly. So this is the one that we'd ultimately need to break, but we still can't even stay below this one for a full minute. As soon as price gets below it, the very next candle pulls it right back up. I think that if we could break and hold below it, we'd see a massive sell-off down to new lows, but price just will not get down there and stay down there. Now I want it to see I want to see it make a run for our other trend line, and then break that like a hot knife through butter. Let's see. That's what I want. That is what I want. Here we go. Let's make an attempt to break that trend line. Run. Run for it. Do not stop. Go down and break that trend line. There we go. Keep pushing. No, do not get bought up. Do not get bought up. Flush. I want the sellers to just all dive in. Give us the follow through. Give us some follow through. Do not pull this back up. Go down and break it. Go down and break the trend line. Go down and break it. Come on. Come on. Come on. There we go. Give us some follow through. Keep running. Run, 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 run. There we go. Break it. Break it. Flush. Flush it down. Flush it down. Give us a break. There you go. Keep going. Break it. No, don't pull back. Oh, come on. Don't do this. Break it. Oh, come on. Maybe it's just coming for this gap. I really hope it's just coming for this gap to go lower. Now break down off of this gap and go for the trend line break. No. Gotta be kidding me, bro. Come on. Oh. There we go. Come on. Break it down. Break it down. Break it down. Let's see if we can get a breakdown. So, if we don't actually break down from here, then I think our next area of interest is going to be 1804, if I'm remembering correctly. I need to revert back to my hourly. 1804.25, 1804. Because I think if we don't break this, then ultimately we're going to be running for new highs, and our next area of interest, in my opinion, is going to be a little over 18,000, 18,004. I'd still personally like to see this break down and make a run for new lows, but the market doesn't care what I want personally. So it's ultimately going to do what it wants to do, and it doesn't look like it's holding below either of these trend lines. Like I said a minute ago, as soon as it gets below this top one, it just gets bought right back up. And we've never even seen it get below this one. So, yeah, this is looking good for, like I said, definitely over. I think we're going to be good for new highs here if we don't get a liquidity sweep and a sell-off. We're going to be good for new highs, and we're going to start working our way towards 18,004. If I had to guess, that'd be our next bullish target. Now we're getting selling pressure without even sweeping new highs. Oh, this is I can't do anything with this today. Not even really sure what price is looking for right now. What's keeping us from breaking highs at this point? It just swept a ton of liquidity on the bottom, and it didn't reach liquidity on the top, so I'm not really sure what it's selling all for at this point. Unless now it has decided that it wants to sell off. Just watching. This is just disgusting to me. We're not going anywhere. We're just stuck. We've been sitting in this same range for, what is that, 40 minutes? Just about 40 minutes. We still haven't broken out of this area. Like I said, I have no clue what price is trying to do right now. It's just consolidating. Just chopping in this range. And yeah, personally, I'd love to see it sell off, but like I said, it doesn't care what I want or what I think. Price is going to do what it wants, and I have no clue what that is at this point.
Upset about it in a way that was not very respectful. Got it?
Just sitting here waiting. If we don't get something in the next, I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes, I'm calling it here because we've been stuck inside of this same area for the last 40 minutes now. As much as I like to think we're going to break down, we have no indication that that's actually going to happen. And then we've already swept highs twice and immediately had these massive sell-offs off of those highs, which makes me think that we ultimately want to sell off, but we still don't have enough. So I genuinely do not know what we're missing here. Every time we sweep highs, we have a massive sell-off from those highs. So I'd really like to think we're going to break down, but we have just as much buying pressure on the bottom side as we do selling pressure on the top side. Every time we make an attempt to break down out of here, it gets immediately bought right back up above the line. This is the first time we've actively traded below this top trend line and actually stayed below it without pulling back the very next candle or two candles later. So, curious to see where we're going to go from here. I'm still liking the idea of us having a massive sell-off if we can break this bottom trend line. But we have nothing to indicate that that's what's happening yet. Unless we break right here. This is a perfect example. We sell down below and then it immediately gets bought up. We didn't even reach liquidity down there. So, again, not sure what's going on here. Not sure what price is trying to do. No clear picture on the hourly to me. No clear picture on the 4-hour. Absolutely nothing clear on the 15-minute. It's just wicks. Wicks, wicks, wicks. I'd like to think that eventually the bottom's going to give out here. But we've now been stuck right here for 10 minutes, just in this little area. You're going to make another run down for an attempt. Like I said, if we don't get something in the next 10 minutes, I'm calling it. I'm not spending my entire day watching price ping pong in between this range. So if we don't get a breakout to one side or the other, I'm just going to end up calling it here in the next maybe 10 minutes. Because price could very well just sit here and do this all day. You gonna make an attempt to break down now? Or are you just gonna get bought up the second you clear this 1 minute candle low? Oh, gonna get bought up without reaching the candle low. Yeah, not even gonna reach any lows. We're just gonna get bought up without doing anything. This would be such a perfect short if this thing would just break down. We have cleared every possible area beneath us. This thing would have virtually zero resistance if it would just sell off. Or support, I should say. We have relative equal lows here, almost perfect equal lows here. We have relative equal lows here. We have no relative equal lows there. We do have relative equal lows right here that we've already dug into. There's, like, this is just, to me, prime for price wanting to run, clear this, and just keep digging its way deeper. It just needs to break down. If it does break the trend line, I'm going to personally take a short. I'm not going to alert anything. I don't like this price action enough to alert anything, but I am going to take a short if we can make an attempt for that trend line, personally. I just cannot stand. I'm going to take it real quick. Give this an opportunity to break down. We did it earlier and we didn't get follow through. Let's see if we can get it this time. Probably not. Let's see if that lines up with our, yeah, that's almost 30 points. See if we can get a trend line break here. All right, we're moving. I'd like to see us break those relative equal lows and then just keep on flushing. So we did break them. I'd like price to keep going though. And start running for the next area, which is these next equal lows, relative equal lows down here, down in this area. I'd like to see price flush this level and just keep on going. Do not get bought up. Just flush. Just flush. Come on. Flush. Flush. Flush, flush, flush. Give us a flush. Oh, there you go. Give us some follow through. All right. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Do not pull back. Do not pull back. Follow through. All right, I am going to move this to this recent low right here, secure 10 points, a little over 10 points. I'm actually going to pull it down to this next low right here, secure about 15 points. Well, no, that's not 15 points. I'm going to keep moving this. Just because we are slowly, I am going to secure a full 15 points now. Here we go. Here's the follow through. I'm going to move this down a little bit more. Oh, here we go. 20 points. I'm going to secure 20 points here. Here we go. Moving a little bit more. I'm being very aggressive and I got stopped out. Secured a little over 400 points there. I still think this is going to be possibly good for new lows, like daily lows from this morning. And the reason I'm saying that, we just swept the opening lows, which is obviously a big level. Right here, we swept the opening lows, but I think that we're still going to be good for the PM lows. I personally think we're going to still be good for those because we've already swept the height of the news drop. I'd like to see us now sweep the bottom of the news drop. So ultimately, this is going to be my profit target for price to reach. It may have to do some retracement before continuing, but I would like to see it continue lower. We have swept both of the areas of what I consider to be relative equal lows or just flat out equal lows. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a retrace on this bearish leg of price action, but ultimately, like I said, my profit target is going to be the lows of the news drop. It just might take a little while for price to get down there, especially with this choppy price action we've been getting all day today. So I am going to personally call it here, guys. We finally did get the breakout that we were looking for. Yeah, it was an exhausting morning. It's almost, it's 9:30 Central, 10:30 Eastern. That's a very long time to just sit here and stare at price. We were able to pull a little over 20 points out of that drop. I know I didn't formally alert it in the channel. It's just because I don't like how price action's playing out today. But if anyone took that with me, just off of the verbal alert and me putting the order up here on the screen, I hope you're able to pull a little bit out of it. We, just so everybody knows, I am not able, I'm going to put an announcement out, but I am not going to be able to trade with you guys tomorrow morning. I'm going to be stuck at work. I will be back for Thursday and Friday's morning sessions, and then I'll be back on a regular schedule for next week. I just could not get off. I could not get off tomorrow like I was supposed to. So if anybody has any questions, just shoot me a message, and I will. I'll get back with you guys as soon as I can. I hope if you do continue to trade, which I personally wouldn't recommend with this price action, I would just look for price to possibly get down here at this level. Doesn't have to do that though. We did just sweep the opening lows. So if you do continue to trade, please be smart. Please use small position sizes. Don't over leverage yourself and blow an account on a bad day of price action like this. But we will be back first thing Thursday morning. And I'm trying to be optimistic and positive. I'm going to take tomorrow as a day to just watch what the price, watch what the charts are doing, try to get some good levels moving forward. And I may even do a session tomorrow night, depending on how busy we are at the station. I'll let you guys know if I do that. I might get on later tomorrow evening and do an update video, an update session on the charts to see where we